I bought 3 new fragrances from Zara, and these are fragrances I think you should know about. I bought Antique Brown, Absolutely Dark and Nostalgia Blue. I think one of these is absolutely fantastic. Hi, welcome to Therottenrebel. If you are brand new here, then you gotta make sure to hit that subscribe and please do drop a like on this video. Thank you. So I'm going to start with Antique Brown. So I blind bought these, but I learned something from my Zara Oud first impressions video. I'm gonna link to that one above, so please do check it out. And that is that these fragrances, most of them, at least the ones I tried, really need a bit of air. So what I've done with these is that I sprayed them quite a bit in the air before this first impression. So with that said, let's begin. According to the package, the notes in Antique Brown are coconut water, bergamot, honey, tobacco, amber and rum. So this is Antique Brown. This is going to be exciting because the notes were quite an interesting blend. Let's see. Oof. Coconut straight away, I'm liking it already. Let's see. Okay, I need some of this on my hand as well. There's something coconut-ish in the opening. There's also a soft, slightly warm kind of tobacco behind it. I also pick up on something that feels a bit woody. I'm not sure what it is because there's nothing sort of woody in the notes. It's a bit sweet. I like it, but I believe, just based on this first impression, that this is something that is a lot better for those around you than it is for yourself. Yeah, it's a bit better now as well. And I'm getting flashbacks from my Zara Oud first impressions, in that these need 2 things for sure. A bit of air, so use them, spray them before you sort of judge them. And the other thing is that they need some time to dry down. These develop and open up in a really nice way if you give them time to dry down. But I mean, I like it. First impression, this is a nice one. It feels like a soft kind of coconut with a soft kind of tobacco behind it. Everything is slightly sweet. This is a nice one for sure. So I'm going to give this some time to dry down. I still have this on my left hand and I also have it on paper. According to the package, the notes in Absolutely Dark are mandarin, bergamot, rose, orris, sandalwood, dry amber and tonka bean. So this is Absolutely Dark. I'm gonna spray up in the air as well. Interesting. I kind of like it though, and on my hand as well. Yeah, first thing to hit my nose, a big dose of freshness, and also pretty much straight away quite a prominent dose of woodiness as well. So this is basically an opening that is sort of fresh, sort of woody, something slightly powdery I feel underneath it all. This, I'm gonna say, is definitely something that is quite mass appealing. I believe most will enjoy the opening of this. And when it starts to sort of dry down, it turns into something that is a mix of freshness, woodiness, and something that feels a bit powdery. This does not have the same kind of powderiness like, let's say, Reserve Privé from Givenchy, Prada L'Homme or Prada L'Homme Intense. But I do feel there's a hint, a layer of powderness here, together with that woodiness and that initial dose of freshness. The first one I tried, Antique Brown, definitely gave me a good first impression, and so does this. This is like almost like a no-brainer. I believe most who enjoys sort of a woody, slightly powdery fragrances will enjoy this. Good work, Zara. I will revisit the dry down later as I have it on my right hand and on paper as well. According to the package, the notes in Nostalgia Blue are saffron, cardamom, geranium, lavender, patchouli and ambrox. Next up we have Nostalgia Blue, and since I sprayed these 2, I guess I gotta spray up here and on paper and up in the air as well. This is nice, come on. This is, come on, what's going on? Zara is doing good stuff. This is actually quite nice. And I got a bit of juice on my nose, ignore that. Sort of a spicy, fresh, maybe a bit of aromatics in there, and I'm not sure what it could be, but I'm getting slight hints of something that is very, very softish, powdery in this one. So I'm not sure where that's coming from. But this doesn't feel as powdery as the previous one, and the previous one was not super powdery in any way. I think this is, at least based on this first impression, a nice scent, a mass appealing kind of scent. This opens up sort of a fresh in a sort of a spicy and aromatic way. It has, at least to my nose, something sort of a powdery about it, but it's not super loud in any way, like a very, very soft kind of powderiness. It's slightly warm, almost flirting with something that is sort of an ambery, and maybe with a bit of vanilla or vanillic kind of sweetness to it. But I do feel this one does remind me of something else. I'm not sure what it is though, but I do feel I picked up something like this before. So this is, based on this first impression, a nice one, but out of these, maybe the most common one, i.e. in that it reminds me the most of something else. So yeah, this is a like. It's, at least right now, not a love. I'm going to give this some time to dry down and revisit the dry down later. Okay, so time for the dry down of Antique Brown. This is good stuff. Something sort of a coconutty, something quite sweet, and that soft sort of a warm tobacco underneath it all. This, the dry down, a lot better than the opening. So yeah, I like this, and I feel that if you enjoy the scent of coconut, if you usually enjoy softish, sort of a warm tobacco-ish kind of scents, and everything being sort of a slightly sweet, i.e. you enjoy fragrances that are a bit on the sweet side, then you will most likely enjoy Antique Brown. This is something I feel is really nice. I really enjoy this, and this coming from Zara is, I gotta say, really impressive. So absolutely dark, the dry down. Let's see. Okay, this is interesting in that it pretty much smells like a fuller, more richer version of the opening through to the mids. So this is pretty much still a mix of freshness and woodiness with a slight hint of powderiness underneath it all. This for 28-30 bucks is quite nice. This, at least to my nose, is quite an inoffensive scent. Most people will most definitely enjoy this, and I'm not sure what's so dark about this fragrance. This actually feels a bit sort of on the lighter side, so like freshness, woodiness, something slightly powdery underneath it all, and I like it. So Nostalgia Blue, the dry down. Let's see. Okay, spicy, and I'm not sure if it's the saffron I'm picking up on, but there's something quite smooth about its spiciness. Yeah, sniffing the dry down sort of reinforces my first impressions of this, in that this feels like a sort of a spicy, vanilla-ish kind of scent with a bit of something that feels almost ambery around it all. This is nice, and I believe this kind of scent is something a lot of people will find smells really, really nice. So yeah, this is nice, but I'm gonna say out of these, this is probably the one that also feels the most familiar. So this is a fragrance I feel most people will enjoy, but there's a chance you will sniff this and go like, hey, I've smelled something like this before. So final thoughts on these three. First up, Antique Brown, so happy I bought it. This is probably one of my absolute favorites from Zara. This is my kind of scent, and the more it dries down, the more gorgeous it becomes. That coconut is growing as it dries down, which I feel is quite a nice thing, because a lot of coconut sort of fragrances are often the other way around, in that they open up with a big dose of coconut and dries down to something where that coconut shifts into whatever other notes are in that blend. This, however, feels like it's growing in intensity as it dries down, which is a really nice thing. So yeah, this is, I was just about to say the F word, because this is effing nice. This is effing nice. Well done, Zara. This is definitely my favorite out of all of these. Coconut, a bit of sweetness, a bit of freshness in the opening, something that almost feels a bit boozy or something like that. This is absolutely gorgeous. I gotta stop talking about it. Then we have this one right here, and yeah, this freshness, woodiness, a slight hint of something powdery. I like it. It's not something that is mind-blowing, but I actually feel this is like an easy reach. You could use this fragrance as your everyday fragrance and you are definitely going to smell good to most people. I like it. It's not a love, but I do think this from Zara at 28 to 30 bucks is like a no-brainer. And yeah, Nostalgia Blue is the one I feel is, together with Absolutely Dark, which is not absolutely dark at all, are the most sort of common ones, in that they feel less unique compared to Antique Brown. So this is pretty much like a spicy, vanillish kind of scent that reminds me of something else as well. I like it, and this together with Absolutely Dark are probably the ones that are the most mass appealing and easy to wear. This is the one, however, that truly stands out with something sort of exotic, that fantastic blend of all those different notes, nuances, complexity. So yeah, there you go. This out of these is my absolute favorite, and I can actually recommend them all. These for 28 or 30 bucks are great choices for someone who wants to smell good. Please drop a like on this video. Thank you. I really do appreciate it. Make sure you hit that subscribe. Make sure you hit that notification bell. Make sure you check out the videos over there. Oh yes, oh yes. And I'll see you in the next one.